Can you hear those beautiful sounds of the English countryside in the summer? Today I'm in Mells, which is often ranked one of the prettiest villages in the UK. It's got a lot to see and a lot to offer, so I'm going to explore it today and bring you along with me. If you're new here, my name's Ross and I make videos about Somerset. I'd love it if you subscribed and stuck around. What does a famous nursery rhyme, a celebrated war poet, a British Prime Minister, and a Hollywood star have in common? Surprisingly, they all lead back to this small Somerset village, but more on that later. I've driven through Mells a handful of times since moving to the county. Each time, I've always spotted lots of thatched cottages and thought how nice it looked, but I've never stopped to discover everything that's here. So on a warm morning in June, feeling somewhat sleepy from too much wine the night before, we went to discover what makes this place special. I always think the best way to understand a place is by walking it, and the 3-mile route I found followed the River Mells through the heart of the village. This whole path smells like wild garlic. Take a deep breath, listen to the sounds, so relaxing here. This area around here by the waterfall that you come to on the walk is absolutely stunning. There's a little sort of beach area that you could chill by the river. Quite an impressive waterfall, decent size. I wasn't expecting to see something like that, to be honest. Mells is a really peaceful place, but a few hundred years ago, this area was really busy. There were quarries, ironworks and coal mines nearby, including this one, Fussell's Ironworks, which you can see the remnants of it here. It's all cornered off, but you can kind of get a glimpse through here. Not to state the obvious, but this walk is clearly beautiful, with little points of interest along the way that make it feel a bit more exciting. We carried on following the River Mells, and it did get a bit muddy in places, but nothing too difficult. Eventually, we reached Great Elm, which is another tiny village just as quiet and picturesque as Mells. You could carry on all the way to the market town of Frome if you wanted. Rather than looping back the same way, because I hate a walk that isn't circular, it's a slightly more direct route back towards the village, mostly running alongside the road, and after all that walking, I was on the hunt for some food. I can't get over how stunning this place is. I think this is probably one of the nicest places I've visited in ages. We've gone for 2 salads. One of them is a heritage carrot salad with chickpeas and other bits, and then one of them's a broccoli salad with miso dressing, I think. There's loads of bits in here. They're massive salads. Feels like they're using produce, possibly, that they're growing here. I'm not actually sure, but everything felt like veggie forward. These were both £15. Probably seems a little bit on the pricey end, but for the setting, I mean, that's what you're paying for. Sorry, I think there was a bit of Cavallel, what's it called? Cavalla Nero?
Kale.
Kale, it was really chewy. There's something creamy on the bottom, which actually gives it a load more flavour. It's nice. It feels like it's missing something though. I'm not sure if it's worth the £15. They had cakes as well, and like sandwiches and pizzas that they were doing in a proper pizza oven. I wanted to film it, but I didn't want to film the woman who was doing it. I feel like I've never had so much veg and salad on a plate. This one's a bit more fresh. The broccoli, I feel like would have been nicer if it was like roasted or grilled though. Not my favourite foods, but amazing place. I wasn't sure what to expect when I found the walled garden after doing a bit of research, but I have to say it's ridiculously pretty there. It's tucked away off one of Mells's quiet village lanes and is home to this cafe, a plant nursery and the gardens. There was a lovely shop there that smelled amazing. It was full of nice gifts, so if you know someone who likes gardening, that's a good place to go. The garden is thought to occupy land that was once associated with a monastery belonging to Glastonbury Abbey, giving it roots that stretch back hundreds of years. Over the centuries, it's evolved into this really peaceful spot. The atmosphere was a 10 out of 10, with so many pockets of areas to wander around and lots of interesting features to take in. Did I just pick wrong with the lunch options? Maybe. I hope so, because I really want to recommend it. We've just been in Mells's... Can you say Mells's? We've just been in the Mells Village shop, which is award-winning. And it was smaller than I was expecting, but well stocked considering the size of it in there. And there's a post office in there. And we picked up this Somerset sourdough loaf, which feels incredible. Cannot wait to devour that. It's quite a big one as well. How much was it? £4. I mean, sourdough's pretty pricey anyway, isn't it? That doesn't seem too bad. Until recently, there was a popular cafe attached to the shop, with Mary Berry herself attending the opening in 2011. Sadly, we saw a sign that the village cafe has now closed. The committee behind the cafe say that they hope to find a new operator in the future, so hopefully this won't be the end of the story. Did you just hear the church bells in the background? So we're stood at the site of a very famous poet. He was one of Britain's most famous war poets, Siegfried Sassoon. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but a lot of people come here to pay their respects to him. He was a very prolific poet in his day, and he wrote poems about the realities of the First World War. What a nice place to be buried. This church also has links back to the actress Helena Bonham Carter. So her family has roots from this area, and a lot of her family are buried here. One of Mells's most famous stories is linked to a nursery rhyme many of you might remember from childhood, Little Jack Horner. This is how it goes in case you don't remember it. Little Jack Horner sat in a corner eating his Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I." Local legend tells of a man called Thomas Horner who lived during the reign of Henry VIII. As the monasteries were being dissolved, he was supposedly sent to London carrying important documents hidden inside a pie. According to the story, curiosity got the better of him. He reached inside the pie and pulled out a plum. Not a piece of fruit, but deeds to the Manor of Mells, which is privately owned, so I can't show you, but this is the entrance. Horner allegedly kept the deeds for himself, and the nursery rhyme's famous line, "What a good boy am I," became a tongue-in-cheek reference to his good fortune. The story goes that this was the beginning of the Horner family's long association with Mells. It's a great tale, although it's probably more myth than reality. While the Horner family did come to own the estate, Historians have found little evidence that a Christmas pie had anything to do with it, unfortunately. And that's not the only surprising link this village has. Buried here in the churchyard is Herbert Asquith, Britain's Prime Minister during the early years of the First World War. It's pretty incredible that a village this small could have so many connections, reaching from nursery rhymes, famous actresses, and war poets. But look at this beautiful cottage. There's so many nice homes in Mells. I wouldn't want to live in a thatched cottage, but there is something about looking at them. You would have seen that I've showed you the Talbot, which is the pub here. We were thinking about going in for a drink, but since I paid 30 quid for that lunch, I felt like I begrudged going in and buying what was probably going to be a pricey pint. And it did look like it was more for food, to be honest. There's lots of people eating there, so we chose not to go in, but it did look lovely. It had a view of the church out the back, and everyone was sat in the courtyard. Only in England would you get a thatched bus stop. How cute is that? Mells, I see you. You're a stunner. I totally understand why the Telegraph featured you as one of Britain's greatest villages. Honestly, I really enjoy making these village videos. They're always so relaxing to edit. So, which village in Somerset should I explore next? Let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed coming along with me to Mells and you'd like to discover more of Somerset's hidden gems, I'd appreciate you giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.